Do you know what case you will be handling?
I do not.
One of our inquisitors turned on us. He went mad.
Hi, this is the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. Today we're looking at Trail of Ashes, also known as Kingdom of Ashes. And this is a 2020 film directed by Arturo Lizardi, also stars Arturo Lizardi, Hector Loeb, and Cecilia Arguelles. So this fantasy film has a little bit of a confusing plot. It's about this investigator who has to interrogate this inquisitor. And the Inquisitor, I guess, did something to the Empress's child, and now they try to kind of get information out of him about her location and such, as well as take down his last statements. And in the process of that, you know, they tell a story, but it turns out that the Inquisitor was also hearing the devil's voice. So what is actually going on? You'll have to watch the movie and find out. So let's talk about what works with this film. This film is kind of a very interesting style, I would say. Imagine The Witch from 2015, along with a little bit of Game of Thrones, like maybe season 1, where you don't really know if anything is magic yet or whatnot. And then get David Lynch to, you know, do all the other stuff, like with the storytelling. So, and you kind of get an idea about how confusing it can be. It's not very, I would say, directly told the story. And so if you are looking to think about the movies that you watch and really have to pay attention, this might be a movie for you. I thought it was really interesting that this guy starts hearing the voice of the devil, or starts talking with the devil. And it's not really clear what it is. Is it the devil, or is it just some type of other entity? And is he really hearing it, or is he going crazy? So there's this big mystery involved, which does add to the intrigue. I thought it was really cool, very reminiscent of The Witch, like I said before, where you're not really sure what's going on. It can be a little confusing for sure, but it is interesting. With this story, it's kind of two stories in one about the investigator, then one about the story that the Inquisitor tells the investigator. I thought that framing device was pretty good, especially since kind of the investigator's storyline, you know, happens for quite a while in the beginning, and then he gets to interrogate this Inquisitor. And so I thought that was a really good framing device, and they're always going out of that, out of the secondary story, and then back into the first, and so on. So I thought it was well written that way, or at least well framed that way. I also thought the costumes were pretty good. The Inquisitors, they wear this like beautiful white mask everywhere, and you can only see their eyes. And then even their eyes are quite striking looking out of the mask. The main interrogator, his position is called a quill in the movie, so he has a little quill pin on his shirt. And so all the costumes are well thought out, well worked out, which is very appreciated. There is a little bit of CGI, all done with the castles, like all the castle shots is usually like in the background or whatever. And those all look pretty good. I definitely believe that there was a castle there, even though, you know, they don't really interact with the castle unless it's in the dungeon. So the CGI definitely also worked. And so this brings me to what didn't work with this film. And let me tell you, I had a very difficult time. I actually, you know, started trying to watch this one day and then had to watch it the next day, like rewatch it from the beginning, because I could not understand what was being said. Like 50% of the time, you can't understand what's being said. The two main actors have a very strong accent, and I think they throw some of their mother tongue in there every so often as well, just to make it a little bit more confusing. And that is a big problem for me because, you know, I like to understand what's going on. And even if it is like a difficult plot, you know, I have to hear what's being said to understand it. And so that was kind of really the biggest challenge for me while watching this one. In addition, this plot is very difficult to follow along. There's just so many things that happen and that are never explained. Motivations are never explained. Plans are never explained. Actions are never explained. I know it's an unreliable narrator with the main Inquisitor, because, you know, he talks to the devil and stuff. Is he really talking to the devil, or is it like just a voice in his head? How does that magic work? nothing is explained. And there's no real payoff to any of these kind of investigative or these hints of a larger world or larger mechanics of the world. And so it's really hard to follow. So unless you're paying like 100% attention, don't expect to really know what's going on. And I guess that's like The Witch, right? The Witch, you are not really supposed to know what's going on, but it is much more kind of simple than this one. It's got no magic systems, no magic hierarchy or anything like that. So it's definitely very confusing. So who is this movie for exactly? Well, I think if you like confusing plots, if you like not knowing what's going on all the time, if you like not having things explained to you and you have to try to think it out for yourself, this might be a movie that you might enjoy. If you're just into it for fantasy, I think it's a little bit too slow. It is a slow burn with lots of dialogue, so maybe stay away from it. As for a rating, I'm going to give it a 2.3. It's a risky movie to watch. You might like it, you might not, just like me, but it's really up to you. But having said that, that's it from me. Subscribe for daily content, and I will see you next time.